Well, it looks like there's a new Marvel Legends X-Men 60th Anniversary 5-pack that's an Amazon exclusive. But is this one any good, Soulmates, and is it worth getting? Be sure you stick around until the end, Soulmates, because we're going to talk about what X-Men characters we would love to see next. If you support what I do, please click subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single video of mine when it comes out. Well, here we are with another Amazon exclusive 5-pack, and I really don't know why they bother with these because, you know, the Spider-Man one was not the most warmly received one, I didn't think. It didn't seem like a lot of people were really into it all that much, and well, I wasn't all that into it either, but you know, here we are with another 5-pack with, I think, some more interesting releases than what we got with the Spider-Man one. Of course, the price tag attached to this one is $124.99, same as the Spider-Man 5-pack, so no great surprise there, but is this one worth the price of entry? Well, let's find out, guys. First action figure we're going to look at from this one, guys, is Vertigo. I don't know that this is necessarily a really desirable character, but it's nice to see her. The most notable thing I can say about this one is that the head sculpt looks okay, and the costume looks like it's more or less accurate to what we see from the comics, although it is a little bit disappointing that her costume is just painted on her body there with absolutely no indication that she's wearing a costume. I feel that, you know, it makes the action figure a little classier when you have some kind of separation between the costume and the skin when we see it, but otherwise, it's alright. I don't know that it's all that exciting. Just a pair of hands is what you get with this one, and she's really just there to take up space. No one's gonna buy this for Vertigo. I don't think anything illustrates that quite as much as the box art, where when we look at it, Vertigo is way in the back and the person who drew her hand didn't even finish it. Next one we're going to look at in this 5-pack, guys, is Zero, and I think the coolest thing about this one is that he comes with a special effect that we originally saw with the deluxe Doctor Strange, aka Defender Strange, way back at the end of last year or beginning of this year. I forget when it was released, but point is, it came with that portal effect. Looking at this one, I think that they did what they could with the design. Zero has a really simplistic costume, so, you know, there's only so much they can do, but it is nice that they used a body that makes it look like the costume is lived in a little bit. I think that always adds a little bit of class to a sculpt when we see that. That said, I think it would have been nice just to see, I don't know, a general generic update to the body that would have added the ab crunch and torso rocker, because, you know, the waist swivel is just so old now. You look at it and it just doesn't look that good now that we've seen so much torso rocker. Other than that, I don't really have too much to say. Obviously, he doesn't have the pinless joints, but maybe they just don't have a mold with pinless joints right now that has the sort of lived-in costume look like this one does. It would have been nice to maybe see a little bit of something with the Zero on his chest and face. Just, I don't know, maybe a little piece of plastic glued on to make it look like it's raised up a little bit, just to kind of make it not look so generic, you know what I mean? Otherwise, it's alright, but just like Vertigo, I really don't think anyone's buying this 5-pack for Zero. Next one we're going to look at, guys, is Random, and this one I like a lot better than the other two. After studying this one for a while and comparing it to some artwork, I can definitely say that it looks like it's fairly accurate to what we see in the comics. The only thing I wish I would have seen on this one is that the bottom of the jacket would have been closed, because on a lot of artwork where we see Random depicted, that vest that he wears is indeed zipped up at the bottom. But other than that, I think he looks pretty good. I do notice that a lot of the stuff that we see on him looks like it's been more or less just kind of tacked on. And I hope that when people get this action figure that the glue on that is going to be holding those firmly in place, because sometimes when you see elements like that that have been added to the action figure, sometimes they're kind of loosey-goosey and they're flopping all around, and then it winds up not looking so good. And this is always where I come in and say, boy, I wish they would have sculpted that on the action figure. And yeah, I wish they would have sculpted some of those things on the action figure, but This isn't Toy Biz, and Toy Biz, they did their random action figure way back in the 90s with a brand new sculpt, but hey, it's a Hasbro Marvel Legend, and what do we really expect at this point? The penultimate action figure we're going to look at in this set, guys, is Pretty Boy, and this one is my absolute favorite because the sculpt on it is incredible. The accuracy to his comic book appearances on this action figure is kind of astounding. I was really impressed and surprised to see how good this action figure was, because the attention to detail on the head sculpt and the torso and the legs is all there. It looks exactly right, and this is a strong improvement over, the Silvermane action figure that we saw from the Spider-Man 5-pack. And, well, speaking of Silvermane, unfortunately this action figure does reuse the arms that were on Silvermane. So that's where the trouble in paradise on this one is. He doesn't have an all-original sculpt. It's so weird that they did 3/4 of a new sculpt and just decided to stop at the arms on Pretty Boy here. They were almost there. They almost had a perfect action figure. But then they went and did the same thing that they did on Toad. They just stopped at the arms and decided to reuse any old thing. But when you go and look at Pretty Boy from the comics, his arms don't look like that. They don't look anything like that. So what are they doing here? Throw them away. They didn't look right on Silvermane, and they aren't right on Pretty Boy. I don't know why they insist upon using these arms. I don't know, guys. The rest of the stuff is really cool. The gun accessories are really nice, and the effects that come with them are cool. He's got the best accessories in the entire set, by the way. I just feel like the figure is being held back by those arms, and it's such a shame because the rest of the action figure is so good. The final action figure we're going to look at from this box set, guys, is probably the one that most people I think are excited for. It's Strife, and this one is the same exact action figure that we saw released in the Jubilee wave way back when. And to be fair, it is very much an improved head, but still, it's the same action figure we saw way back when, and it's okay. It just feels like, I don't know, it needs something of an update. There's not even anything really that I can say bad about it. It's accurate to what we see from Strife in the comic books. My only thing is that, well, he doesn't really have any accessories. He just comes with a set of extra hands, which is fine in of itself, but there's nothing here that really represents his powers. Where's a special effect or two? Where's a weapon, because he does use a weapon occasionally. For such a high-profile character, this is a pretty bare-bones presentation here, and it really needs something. The action figure itself is fine, but considering they're reusing something that's at least 5 years old now, they could have given a little something with this one. Really, when we look at this entire set, we're not seeing all that much that's new. The newest things that we're seeing are head sculpts, a body on Pretty Boy, and, well, that's about it really. Maybe a piece or two on random, and that's about it. To be fair on Strife, it does look like they've plugged the holes that were on his joints, so that's a nice touch. I'm very surprised by that when I look at it, but apparently it is so, and, well, it does lead me to wonder why they don't do that consistently now. Still, for $124.99 and Strife being the star of this package, I wish that there was a little bit more going on with him than what people are getting. Is this one worth getting, Soulmates? Well, like I say, it's always up to you guys. You gotta decide for yourselves if you're okay paying $124.99 for this, but looking at it, it seems pretty bare bones. This definitely looks like, at the very least, a wait for it to go on sale type package, because you're not getting a lot. You're not really getting much in the way of accessories. You're getting mostly repaints here. You're getting a couple of new things here and there, and also a re-release of Strife, but I don't know, was that $124.99 worth of stuff? Well, I'll let you decide. And as always, guys, if you'd like to see me review this one, let me know down in the comments, and be sure you share this video with your friends, and, well, We'll see what happens. Now that we've seen this 5-pack of X-Men action figures, guys, what X-Men characters do we want to see next? Well, I know I've said it before, but I will say it again because I think he's a really interesting character. It would be great to see Trevor Fitzroy represented as a Marvel Legend because I'm thinking back and I don't think I've ever seen him. I know that Toy Biz did an action figure of him way back in the 90s, but as far as the Marvel Legends line goes, nah, I don't think it's happened. And well, if they do make him, I hope they do something really outrageous and give him his crystal armor and stuff. That would be so cool. Well, Soulmates, what do you think of this X-Men Amazon exclusive 5-pack? Is this one that you have to have for your collection because maybe you need all these characters? Are you on the fence because maybe there's some characters you like, maybe there's some you don't, and maybe you don't like the quality? Or are you just not that interested in general because maybe you feel like you want to wait and see new versions of these characters maybe? I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and be sure you let me know what X-Men characters you want to see as a Marvel Legend next. If you want to learn more about the new X-Men retro card releases, you can check out that video here, Soulmates.